Jim, I'm going to introduce you to somebody who is, for years, I've been for well over 40 years, I have been the small business guy. No question about it. You just met Bill Russell. I love to give him all kind of adjectives on how he supports small business. You have also given yourself the title of voice of small business. We all got our areas of small business. Now I'm going to introduce you to the absolute master of franchising. He's been a friend of mine for years, whether he will admit it or not. And I always look forward to him. In some of my biggest interviews, when we tape them and put them on the tubes, the most watched videos come from Don because people love to hear about franchising. And so I've been looking forward to this interview. And every time I've got him on the show, I've had to cut him short. And so, so this is the first time I don't have to cut him short and we get a chance to talk to him completely for the entire period of time. We have Don Clayton. He is here. He is the founder of 360 Group, a franchising expert organization to help you buy franchises. Don, my friend, thank you, buddy, for being here.
Thank you, Joe and Jim. Good to meet you, sir.
Good to
And
meet you.
Joe and Jim's. I think you guys really need to be in the tavern business because that's just the perfect name. Joe and Jim's Bar and Grill.
How about JV,
Maybe it's
JV?
maybe so. Jim and Joe's. Jim
I
and
like it.
Joe's. That sounds like a hot dog brand.
I like the Jim first part too.
Jim, you
Yeah,
should always
Jim
be first, buddy. So Don, I'm sure I didn't do a good job of defining what it is you do and what 360 Consulting Group is. Please do me a favor and sort of define exactly what it is you guys do.
Well, so 360 Consulting Group is an S Corp here in North Carolina, and we work with individuals all over the world and help them go into franchising. We are a part of the world's largest affiliation of franchisors that come together for marketing purposes to expand. And that organization is called FranServe. FranServe has contracts, and so we work with those contracts of close to 800 of the world's hottest brands mainly in the United States and Canada. And these are brands that are emerging, brands that are just starting out. We also represent brands like Wendy's and Steak and Shake and Great Clips and others. So we represent a huge variety in 35 main categories, over 250 subcategories, work from home, brick and mortar, low investment, high investment. And so every day what we do, just to sum it up, every day what we do is we change lives. We change lives through franchise ownership. We take young people in their 20s. We take retirees in their 60s and 70s. We create a opportunity for them to go into franchise ownership, whether it be semi-absentee or a second or third or fourth income, diversification of their income portfolio. Maybe it's their only business. If you will. So we work with them, we put them through a personality assessment, we look at their demographics, and then we help select the right franchise for them at the right moment for their territory.
So, Jim, I'm going to tell you a story about Don. I called him about 2 weeks ago, tell him, hey, I'm working with a brand new client. I started to tell him about this e-commerce business. It's like the new thing. You can literally be involved with Walmart or Amazon. I get about halfway done telling him of this new thing and this new client I'm working on, and he stops me. He said, Joe, we're already selling them. It's our top seller right now. So you're not going to get something over on Don's. But I bring that up, Don, because it is why I like working with you, because it seems like wherever the industries are trending, there will be a franchise that moves in that direction. Is that kind of a fair thought process?
Oh, very much so. And that's what happens when you live in a capitalist society. And when I talk about that, sometimes people are like capitalism and they kind of frowned upon it. We're not talking about capitalism like big government, like IBM. We're talking about capitalism on the local level. We're talking about capitalism in your local community. We're talking about entrepreneurship in your local community. And just like you said, anytime there's an opportunity that comes up, people recognize that. And so when they recognize an opportunity that you can monetize that opportunity, then you're going to have, there are groups out there that help you go into franchising so that you can duplicate that successful model all over the world.
So go ahead, Jim. You got a
So
question?
I really appreciate, as I did a little homework on you, that you have
Whoa, Don.
quite
He checking up
no,
on you.
well, we had not met, right? And I wanted to make sure I do not go anywhere unless I'm prepared. But a couple things, how eclectic it is that you can have Vagnone as a franchise, you could have Grease Monkey, Action Coach, right? All of those different kinds, quite a nice array of portfolio. But what really excited me is the fact that you have free veteran consulting. That a veteran can leave the service, and if they have a little bit of money saved and they've got, an idea or a goal or passion, you're going to fix them up.
What happens is, Jim, is that when a veteran leaves the military, and I have one now, when they're transitioning out into civilian life, typically what the military does is they work with them and help them build a resume so they can get a job, right? So what we do is we talk to them about alternatives. You don't have to go out and get a job. We love veterans. Why? Because franchising is all about following a system. Military veterans are all about following a system. That's why they are in the military. So we love military veterans. They make it for a phenomenal franchisee in a multitude of categories. And in addition to that, not only do we provide them with free service and free consultations, matter of fact, we provide all of our clients with free consultation. However, military veterans receive discounts. We are also a part of VetFriend, VETFRAN.com, VetFriend. VetFriend is an organization created by the International Franchise Association that we're members of that help military veterans go into franchising. And what franchisors do is they become members of VetFriend, which in turn gives the military veteran that is investing in that franchise a rather large discount off of the franchise fee.
So it's one of the issues that I really like, and why I send you some of my clients when they don't know what they want to do, right? Like you're this perfect place. I laugh all the time. I'll send you an email, and Julie was saying, do you have to explain to Don why we're referring this person to him? And I say, no, Don knows exactly why he's going. I'm sending him because I can't help them, right? They don't know what they want, and so they need somebody like you to help them look for that. And with so many different brands, it opens up opportunities that I, as a guy that only can share with them the independent inventory that I have, it does make a difference. Can you talk about that? You know what, Don? Let's wait because we're going to a break. We come back. I want you to talk about that process because what you do is sort of educate and inspire a lot of these people into industries they would have never thought of if they hadn't met you. So let's talk about that when you come back, okay? I'm the master of franchising, Don Clayton. Don, my friend, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we left the break, and I was talking to people how I send you people because I don't know what to do with them, right? Like they're not sure they know what they want. And when I send them to you, by the time you're through with them, they have a real understanding of what their interests are. Can you talk about that process?
We do put them through a process. It's actually a 6-step process that we put them through. And it's rather complex and detail oriented, but it's fun, it's engaging, and it's eye opening. It's eye opening to the individuals seeking a franchise because oftentimes they really have no idea what they want. And when they think they know what they want, they really don't. And when you take them through this series of steps, they come to realize quickly that what they thought they wanted is not what they really need. And so what we essentially do is we help individuals from making very serious mistakes and going at this alone. There are over 4,500 franchise opportunities in America today. And oftentimes when individuals go out seeking for a franchise or two or three, they quickly become overwhelmed and they just typically give up. And that's when we step in to say, okay, let's take it a step at a time and let's look at this. But I'm glad you brought this up, Joe, because we have so many brands right now under contract. We need help representing these brands. So if there are any listeners out there that perhaps franchise consulting would be in their future, if they think that franchise consulting could potentially be in their future, if they like changing lives, they like coaching others and helping others, then reach out to me and I'll be happy to talk to them, because we do need additional consultants right now, because we are growing. We are the world's largest franchise consulting organization, and we need help representing all these brands that we have under contract.
So, let's have some fun. You know, I love doing this to you, right? So I want you to give me your top 10 pick franchises for North Carolina. Give me, let's start one by one. Normally when we do this, I make you do this in a minute and a half, right? Which, by the way, you can do it. I've watched you do it. You don't need to be in a hurry now. So let's go through this. I want your top 10 picks for people thinking about buying a franchise. Where you want to start, buddy?
Well, I tell you, it's really hard because we've done this before, and I started to rethink the strategy here. And I'm starting to rethink, I'm not sure that it's such a great strategy when there are so many factors that go into play. So what I will do is I will talk about some concepts.
Okay.
And let's talk about these concepts that take a very simple idea and turn it into a multi-million-dollar franchise. And I'm speaking specifically of, and we may have discussed this on our last call, but I'm speaking specifically about pet waste management. So when you think about pet waste management, especially with a growing community, with communities just going up everywhere, you now have communities where there aren't any yards. Or if there is a yard, it's very small. And so whenever you take your animal out to potty, then you have the task of cleaning up that waste. Not only that, residential, but there's a huge opportunity in the pet waste management, or excuse me, just waste management when it comes to commercial. We're talking about farms. We're talking about geese cleanup. Do you play golf? Do you know when you go out on a golf course and there's goose poop everywhere? Well, there are companies, franchises out there that will go out and clean that up for you. So it's an opportunity. It is a very low cost investment. But what happens in a franchise is you have an idea, you have a model, you have an investor who wants to be an owner, but they don't want to reinvent the wheel. They don't want to sign up for the contracts. They don't want to get the suppliers. They don't want to find the employees, the help, the software, the system, the approach, the standard operating procedures. They just simply want to step into the model and become successful right away. And that's what this is all about. We have another opportunity
before we move on, I will tell you something. Do not discount that. I've got some clients that are making well over 240 grand a year in this industry. So let me tell you something. It might seem like it's small business, but I got some clients doing exceptionally well with it.
It's very true. And the reason I brought it up, to be honest with you, Jim and Joe, is because it's an opportunity that a lot of folks, it's an entry level opportunity. When you talk about franchising, most people think about the big QSRs, quick service restaurants, right? The McDonald's and the Subways. This is an opportunity, and we represent some of those for sure. But this is an opportunity for a lot of viewers who are entry-level entrepreneurs. This is a stepping stone opportunity where you can build it up, hire employees, manage it, oversee it, and then start another franchise. So this is an opportunity where it doesn't have to be the only one that you own and operate. And don't forget, once you build, obviously, Joe knows this, once you build up a business, just because it's a franchise, you still own it. Therefore, you can flip it and sell it down the road for profits. And that's when you call Joe Vagnone.
Boy. All right, let's go to another one. Give me another one.
Yeah. So what happens whenever, what's happening in Cornelius right now? What's happening in Lake Norman right now? What's happening in Mooresville right now? What's happening all across the Piedmont and the Charlotte area? Building, building, building. You've got neighborhoods popping up everywhere. Farmland, they're tearing down trees. What happens when you do this? Opportunity comes up. Entrepreneur opportunity.
Jim, do you like the way he's setting us up for this, Jim? He's setting us up for something. Go on.
Yeah. Well, what happens is that when all this development takes place, where is the wildlife going to go? Where are they going? So where are the deer going? Where's the mice and the rats going? Where are the raccoons going? Where's the fox going? What does the fox say, by the way? But where are they going? Where's the wildlife going? So we have a franchise that is just absolutely booming right now. Very high margin franchise that come in and they have a patented system to where they trap and collect the wildlife and then transport it out and rehome it. So you have bats in the attic. I know if I had bats in the attic, I don't want to take care of it. And most of your traditional pest companies, they take care of ants and roaches and mice. We're talking about wildlife. We're talking about raccoons and fox and bats and things like that. So they don't come out and kill them. They don't kill them. So it's very humane. They trap them and they rehome them. And so when you look at development, first thing people think of is retail. Oh, we got all these communities coming. We need to open up a sub shop. We need to open up a yogurt brand. We need to open up a child fitness. We need to open up this because all these families are moving in. They don't think about the alternatives. They don't think about other ways they can monetize the growth and development in any community. And this is one, because the wildlife has nowhere to go. And that's why you have a raccoon
That is
in
interesting.
your attic right now.
And this is a great example of why I love talking to Don, because he does send my mind in different directions that I wouldn't have gone. Now, Don, we've only got about 2 minutes left.
Rats.
But
That was classic, Jim. Good job.
I'm thinking of the flying squirrels, right? Hey, they were in the spring. They were in my home in the spring. It cost me $3,000-4,000 to have them removed, and then they sealed the whole house up like it's Fort Knox. So they do all of that.
So
There
not
are
only do they
franchises out there
catch
do
them,
that.
but then they make sure they don't come back.
I know, but I was missing my Rocky and Bullwinkle. I mean, that's how it works.
Joe,
Yes.
you hit on a very key element. What Jim just said, they seal it up so they don't come back. Remember the band, the Squirrel Nut Zippers? Boy, that was a good band back in the day.
I knew Jim would take
Anyways.
Don in the wrong direction. I knew that was going to happen, Jim.
We don't Mickey Mouse around here.
So chasing rabbits, that was another one.
So,
Okay.
Don, if somebody wanted to
Anyway.
reach you, how could they reach you, buddy?
Yeah, they need to reach me at don@franserve.com or don@360consulting.net.
So
They can also call me 919-777-0178. Don't forget, we're looking for new consultants as well.
do that phone number
One more time.
Yeah, 919-777-0178.
Don, thank you so much, buddy. It is always a pleasure to have you around, buddy. I thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Don Clayton, 360 Consulting. There is nothing about franchising that Don does not know. I want to say before the end of the show, those of you on the tubes, those of you on the book, I am sporting my Panthers shirt because I am a strong supporter of the Panthers. You cannot be a strong supporter unless you're willing to support your team when they haven't won a game yet. And so I believe that we're going to turn this thing into something. So here at Local Biz Now, we are loyal Panther supporters.
I grew up in Detroit.
Oh,
Here
boy.
we go. Go Lions.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. If it's Monday afternoon, your business matters. We'll see you next week.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, W2.